Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome, October 16th market update. On this Thursday morning, we still have the government shutdown. There is nothing going on right now in that sense. They are trying to settle anything. So Trump is very quiet on that. He doesn't really care. He's not worried about this so much. On the other hand, I'm looking at the 10-year yield this morning. It's sitting at 4.02. It's coming down. We also had some numbers of the Canadian housing market. We're going to take a look at that on the Forex market here. Let's bring them up front of you here, what the numbers are saying on the Canadian numbers right now. They came out at here a few minutes ago, 279K. So it's a good news for the market. The interest rates are lower. Interest rate Canadian is helping the Canadian real estate market. It's not only helping the Canadian real estate market, it's also helping the retail or the commercial market. So we own, I don't know if you guys still own the SRU.UN and RioCan. I still own them. I'm up on both of those stocks, been earning good dividends in them, over 7%. So I made so far in 7 months, 8 months that I've been holding those things, I am up about pretty close to 15%. So by the time they're done by the end of the year, I should be up around 30% on those things. Not a bad return, 30% comfortably, no risk, right? Not too much risk in there. So anyways, that's a housing start this morning. Let's get on with the market. We're supposed to get the jobs number every Thursday that we get. We are not getting those numbers. There's nothing coming out, no jobs numbers, no PPI data, no CPI data till next week. But there is nothing coming out because of the government shutdown. So no numbers, sorry about that. There's nothing we can do to see the underlying what the market is doing. And I think Donald Trump likes it that way. So Jerome Powell has a tough time making a decision next. So we're going to also take a look at the our earnings as well. On the market as well, see what earnings came out. Charles Schwab came out with earnings this morning. Who else came out with earnings yesterday? We'll talk about AB&V, Bank of New York, U.S. Bank. More banks coming out with earnings this morning. Yesterday, Morgan Stanley, and we'll talk about all those stocks in a minute. We'll put that in a side. Let's talk about the market. So where is the market this morning? Market is still trading inside that big candle that came on Friday. Slowly been rising to the upside. 67.54 is the key area of resistance. If it can get above there, remember what I said, slowly this is making a left shoulder, then you got the neckline, then it's still slowly creating a right shoulder on this side. And overall, this pattern here that's being developed here is actually a bearish pattern. That means eventually this thing should break to the downside, right? But what avoids a pattern like this is if the price goes above here, 68.14. If the price gets above here, then this pattern doesn't mean anything anymore. Okay, but it's never perfect. Head and shoulders are never perfect, but they are developing slowly there. I do see this thing going up and then maybe possibly going sideways and down eventually on the breakout. Look at a lot of selling on the red candles. There's a selling there. There's another selling on this red candle, and there's a pickup on this candle this morning, a little bit here. So, and very small pickup on this one as well. So let's see what the day brings. But there is no major news coming out today that's gonna pull the market either to the downside or the upside. A lot of Feds did talking yesterday. A lot of them, Marion, remember that guy, that the latest Fed that was added by Donald Trump, is talking 0.5% cut on the next one. He wants a 0.5% cut. I'm pretty sure he'll be voting for a 0.5% cut. Let's see if he can convince the other Feds to do that on his side. So if you get a 0.5% cut, this could be good for the market. Again, it's just going to pull the market into a higher space, make it market more expensive. and that's where we're going with that. And the Nasdaq, same thing, inside candle on that big Friday candle. I do look again, look for this trend line break to the downside to be short. Again, the market is continuing to the upside. Again, a little bit of head and shoulder. It's not perfect. There's a left shoulder, there's a neck, there's a right shoulder that's being built up, and this is a trend line that could be, we could pretty much call this a neckline. If it breaks to the downside, that's a bearish sign as well. And what about the Dow Jones? Dow Jones is pretty much, look at that. It's also creating a little bit, see that little bit head and shoulder, neck, and a little bit of right shoulder. So you can see all on top of these indexes, pretty much all of them having a same pattern that's being created. And like I said, this pattern is negative when it happens on the top. And this pattern is a reversal when it happens at the bottom, right? Bottom, it happens the opposite, right? Look at this one. This one here is, if you see this here, this is a left shoulder. There's a neckline, and there's a right shoulder. What did it eventually do? This one here breaks to the, you could have drawn, this is a neckline. And the neckline eventually broke to the upside. See that? This is a left shoulder, neck, and the right shoulder, eventually it broke to the upside. So here's a left shoulder, neckline, right shoulder, eventually there'll be a neckline here that will break to the downside. Okay, so keep a close eye on these things. That's how you, then you know, these things are never perfect. These are never perfect, but you should be able to see them once you see a picture. When you start looking at these things, you'll start looking at patterns, you start looking at trend lines. You start looking at them, and you stare long enough, you'll see it, right? So it's very important that you these things are kind of taken, that you start recognizing these things on the charts. Okay, that is your Dow Jones. Dow Jones is breaking new records. It has gone up about 46,695. Again, let's see if we can continue this pattern above 47,000. If it breaks this little head and shoulders here. IWM is at 250. I'm sorry that I got out of it, but again, it's heading higher, 251. If you have it, continue to hold. It's a new territory, right? I should have held on, but anyway, made money. As long as you make money, never cry over a spilled milk, right? And we got this one here coming down to 55. Oil is still, I still target is $55 on it. Why? Because if you're going into a recession, commodities are selling off. This is going to go to the downside. Commodities in gold is not selling off. Commodities in silver not selling off. But you've still got those copper lines. Uranium is all-time high. But still, the main metals, which is steel and uranium, metal and use the zinc, they're still at a lower price. Copper is still not at the highs. They're still at lower prices. Once the economy starts picking up, those things will start picking up as well, okay, to the upside. I think the economy has changed a lot over the years, last couple of years, what direction we're going. And Donald Trump, I like to talk about Donald Trump and his what he's doing to the U.S. economy a little bit later on. We'll just have a subject on that. But the market itself is really has changed a lot. Okay, UVXY is holding pretty steady sideways, but it's still in the elevated position. Normally, historically, it sits below 15, sits below 16. That's where the normal space is for it. But it's still elevated at 20. If something does come up, this could push even back to the higher. Again, this was Donald Trump's tweet on Friday that pushed that thing to way up there. Okay, the 10-year is sitting at 4.01. If this could be a good news for the stock market, if this thing can go below 4%. And why it's a good news for the market? Because interest rates get cheaper, mortgage is going to get cheaper. Buy those home stocks, DHI, PHM. If you those should go up below 4%. If you got them already, hold on to it. But if you want to trade them for day trade, you should be able to get some money out of them if we get below 4%, on the yield. So that's where the investment should be. towards in the real estate sector. That's where you should find it. Maybe a little bit in the retail as well too, but mostly in the you'll find that investment, especially with the DHI, PHM stocks. What are they doing this morning? Quickly, they were slightly down after the run up. We had the run up for the last 2 days on these stocks, and it could be a further run up very quickly if they get, like I said, below 4% on this stock in these on this 10-year movement to the downside. So what is gold doing this morning? Gold is a hold, gold is a buy, whatever you want to do. Gold is hitting new highs. Gold is sitting at 42.53. Again, 4,300 quickly is coming to the eyes of gold. It's up $51 this morning. Again, gold is, I'm going to talk about that bit fiasco this morning I want to talk about. Okay, this is, okay, let me talk that in a minute here. So gold is 42.52. Then we talked about the yield. Let's talk about the put call ratios. If you look at the SPY and you look at the triple Qs and the IWM, they're all towards a call side. That means they're expecting the market to go to the upside. So the put call ratios look like they want to push the market to the upside. So let's see. I like to track what going to be to the upside. So a lot of people bought puts yesterday. Remember the lot of the option market, especially for the stocks, opens up at 9:30. I know the SPY options get traded or start trading early in the morning, but the put call, like the rest of the options, don't trade till about 9:30. So somebody can keep tracking on it. Today they're telling me the market is going to. Market is telling me it's going to go to the upside. So what should happen at 9:30? The market should, between 9:30 and 10, somewhere there, the market should be up. Okay, so to make money on those. What about Bitcoin? Bitcoin is sitting at 111. I don't know. Manjot put that little piece in the chat. Take a look at it. Thanks for putting that in there, Manjot. I read the article, but I never put anything in there. The reason this guy here sold short. If you guys don't understand, somebody, what happened on Friday, they open up a new account on trading Bitcoin. They did not buy the Bitcoin. They shorted it. Okay. They shorted the margins was huge. They borrowed money. The margin was huge. They shorted half an hour before Donald Trump tweeted out what he sent. So the question here is, when he sends a tweet out, like I said to you guys all, when he sends a tweet out, there are many people who can read it before it goes out. And the first people that can read it before it goes out is the platform, DJT platform. That's where he sends it. And why do you think he doesn't send it to the X platform? Because he has no control over the X platform. He has a complete, and his sons have a complete control over the DJT platform. This is like insiders trading. Somebody reads these tweets before it goes out. Guess what they're doing? They're taking advantage of that. Okay. If I heard Donald Trump like 10 seconds before I knew that he was going to do something like that, what do you think I'm going to go run in the stock market? I'm going to sell all the futures short. I'm going to sell hundreds of contracts. And I'm going to make money within minutes. And you guys saw how fast the market came down on Friday. Right? So that's what happens when somebody does some stuff like that. And a lot of people, did Barron Trump, was he sitting next to Donald Trump, talking to him? Then he goes out and shorts it? Yeah, it's very much possible, right? So that's what talking about Bitcoin is sitting at. I don't believe after this stuff that's going on with this kind of stuff, it makes me less and less believe in this Bitcoin stuff. So another thing that happened overnight, last couple of days, was PayPal. PayPal is big into cryptocurrency. Okay. PayPal lends out money in cryptocurrency. They lend it out, and their 1-to-1 ratio. It's like a stable coin. It's a 1-to-1 ratio with the American dollar. So they let it out in cryptocurrency, but it's a 1-to-1 ratio in US dollar. And they printed $300 trillion. $300 trillion. And if that money had gone out from the PayPal or this company that does it for them, I put it in the chat there. Had they done this and this money went out, PayPal would have owned $300 trillion worth of cryptocurrency out there. Okay, and they would have been pretty much bankrupt. They would have bankrupt a lot of stuff had this gone out. Okay, $300 trillion. So they printed this out of thin air. So what do you guys think? Bitcoin can be printed out of thin air? Do you really believe that? Right? Ethereum, can it not be printed out of thin air? You guys really believe that they're only gonna print about a limited amount? So just understand the risk that you're in. You can, you trade whatever you want. Nobody's gonna say, but I'm just giving you. This is my own little bit of, belief. Why I don't believe in Bitcoin. Why I don't believe in Ethereum. These things are created out of thin air, and yes, they can create more of these stuff out of thin air. So gold, you can't. Gold, you can only take a limited supply out of the ground. We don't have any other ground. We don't have a planet close by where we can mine this stuff from anywhere else. We can only mine it whatever we got from this planet Earth, and it's a limited supply for a bit of gold. Okay, and gold will keep going up. And 5K level, I don't think it's that far the way gold is going to the upside. Okay, continue to own gold. Okay, so that is Bitcoin. That's anyway, my MSTR is below 300. It's going lower. Even though it's up this morning 301, cryptocurrency goes down. This thing goes bankrupt, down even lower. Be careful of all the other cryptocurrencies as well. Okay, so that is pretty much talking about these markets. Let's talk about the earnings. What earnings came out this morning and what those stocks are doing. And the first one that came out this morning has been Charles Schwab. This is one SCHW. I still own a few shares of this one here. And again, it's I'm looking for the trend line break. If you guys looking to buy this one, they came out with good earnings. It's pretty much it's beating right now above the trend line. I think it's a buy for long term. If anybody wants to buy a besides IBKR, or you want to buy any other trading platform, they have that Thinkorswim platform. They have their own platform as well. And so Charles Schwab is still, compared to IBKR, compared to other platforms, this stock is still undervalued. I think this stock can go a lot higher. Once it gets above $100 level, it can run quite a bit to the upside. So watch for it to, I think, break this point right there. Okay. So that is my view on Charles Schwab. AB&V is another one that came out with earnings, and they actually beat the per share by a cent, and they also beat the revenue. Let's take a look at AB. Okay, sorry, it is ABB, not ABV. Where is, no, it's the what, where did it go? Sorry, ABBN. I'm looking at the wrong ticker. This is the one. Where is? I'm not getting it right this morning. Sorry, hang on 1 second. It is ABBN. Sorry, it's not on the Canadian market. American market. It is foreign. It is on the Europe stock. So they came out with earnings. Really, I'm not after this company, but it's another one of those companies that that Donald Trump is after, because they're foreign companies, and they're into electrification motion. They make pretty automation solutions. This is the reason I looked at this one was robotics. Okay, they are into a lot of automation. Not many people talked about this company. It is a pretty good $117 billion company. So this was the reason it's been around for a while. So this is one of those companies that can survive future because them, you know, those robots when they move their arms and legs, these guys make actually motors and generators for that stuff, for those things. So that's where a lot of that stuff comes from. And these guys are really good. And if you're going into more and more robotics in the future, this company already makes like 24 to 32 trillion dollar business. Billion. They're already into a lot of this stuff. So if that robotic stuff is gonna really grow in the future, this company is really gonna be more valuable than it is. It's look at this thing. It's been going up. Pretty much. Yeah, I know it's not on the. I'm gonna try to find out if it's on the New York Stock Exchange if they have an ADR. But if you guys are in Europe over there, or if you can get access to this stock, it's definitely a buy. Okay, definitely a buy because. Like I said, all the equipment that they make robotics of, a lot of that stuff comes from this company, and it's a very good company. Okay. So I will do a little bit of more research for you guys on this one here. That's the reason I liked it. Sometimes when the earnings come out, you look at a certain company and say, what the hell does this company do? And that's how I figured this one here this morning when I was looking at it. Any other ones? Anybody else want to take a look at any other companies here? Then I'll just continue with my own lookup. Companies that I want to take a look at is again, let's quickly take a look at the home stocks, DHI. Can we day trade them today? Let's take a look with the yield coming down. This one is up already. It's up 155.79. I do think this will continue to the upside. Okay. DHI with the especially if you can get that 10 year below 4%, this can pop to the upside. DHI Rocket Mortgages, what about those? I think that this is another. It come down nicely. It is already headed up 1698. It will be higher if that yield is below this one. This will go up. This can make. I think this is a buy still for long term. So it gave us a nice dip here. If anybody who doesn't have this one, I think it's time to add. Okay, time to add current price, even at this one here. So looking at PHM is also, this one here is a buy, definitely to the upside. It already made up a little bit of move to the upside. So definitely. The other one is Canadian. If they get these, we are coming to, today it's the 16th. They're talking about CN or a lot of these Canadian stocks taking off to the upside. So remember I said 135. If it gets above 135, it will start moving up very quickly. It's already 136.43. I do think this is, like I said, I have too many shares of this company. I will be selling at 140. I know many other people have a pretty good bet on these stocks as well. So, like I said, I hold a lot. I will be selling half of my position on CNR at 140. What's the other stock? Amazon is getting close to my buy. 212, 210. I said the target was. I should have picked up some more yesterday. If it does come up around 212, I will be buying some. Okay, I will start to accumulate Amazon. Okay, so definitely Amazon is on my buying list. What else we can talk about? CLX. Let's talk. That's Clorox, isn't it? CLX. Yeah, that's Clorox Cleaning Company. This is the one Donald Trump advertised. Is sitting right at the bottom here. Be very careful. Could be a double, triple, fourth bottom here. This could be a little bit. Could be like an H pattern. Okay, H pattern is if it breaks below here. Especially this red line, we could really go to the downside. So you want to be in a short position. But what you want to do is if you want to buy to the upside, it makes a nice, very strong 10 line. Actually, you can go from right from the top here. You can draw it this way. So if you're looking to buy this one, look for to buy above the trend line here. We can also take a look at fundamentals. How strong are the fundamentals on this one? Uh, Pretty good. I would say pretty good. If you compare them historically, they're pretty much the same, but it's the fundamentals should hold this stock sideways here. Okay, sideways or up, and that will depend on what earnings will come, how the earnings will be. Okay, it will depend on a breakup above this here. That's where I would be interested. But again, below this line here on 115 there, I would be out of this stock. Okay, Sophie, I like Sophie. I like what they announced. You guys, I mentioned that already. Brokerage side, it popped up from the bottom here. It's slowly going back to the upside again. I do think this can continue to the upside, but the only thing that worries me right now is the stock market itself. The huge market is that it's up to the upside, but long-term view on Sophie is to the upside. Okay, definitely. I would, if you have it, hang on to. I got, I don't completely sell out. I sold a huge amount of it at $30. Well, got rid of a lot of shares, but I would love to buy it at cheaper price with this market if this market can crack to the downside. Okay, that's where I would love to pick some up. So definitely Sobe. So you put so many in there. We talked about half of them already. They're all real estate. Yeah, definitely would be a buyer of all of them. UPST is a buy at this price. Let's take a look at that. UPST. I don't like this stock, but I know a lot of people like it because they lend out money. Okay, and they're basically that's fine. The stock looks went twice to the upside. This is a double top count, kind of came right to the bottom here. I'm just taking a look at what's going on here. The market's going long again here. Okay, so anyways, I like the stock, but again, I'm sorry, not like this stock. I'm not a big fan of this stock. Okay, they lend out money, and they were once time very hyped up stock when they did the original IPO here. Took it to $400. These guys gonna take a long time if they're ever gonna get their money back at that levels. It's a risky stock. They lend out money. If you want to buy this type of stock, I suggest maybe go buy Mastercard, Visa. I think they're better capitalized, and they have more money and they have more cash flow than companies like that. You're taking a little bit of risk with these ones. Okay, so be very careful with this one, Sarbajit. I really need. There's lots of stocks out there. Double A, this is one of my favorite. I'm looking for a $40 target on this one. 36.82, that's where the stock is sitting. I like it. I like to see the $40 take range here. It's only a couple of bucks away. We bought it, you guys all bought this thing cheap, right? And they all bought like under $30. If you feel like that you have a good profit and you bought a lot of shares in this one, take some profit, right? Take some profit. Makes sense to take a profit, right? So definitely, I would agree if you want to take it. But my long-term view is still this thing can go a lot higher. Aluminum one, especially if we also get that deal done. Remember that the U.S. Canada trade deal? If that happens, this would be a big lift for this one. Okay, it would be a big lift. So if you want to wait for the Canada US deal, wait for that, and that could pump this stock up to the upside very quickly. Humana and CNC, I like them both. These are insurance companies. Humana has come down. This is the one you can add. CNC has gone up. This is the one you can add here. Okay, you can add at current price. I love it. CNC is the other one. I would put on this one on hold right now. But again, we bought way back here, had a nice run up, and if you took some profit here, that's fine. But again, I think it can go up higher. So insurance companies are still cheap. Open day trade. Let's take a look at Open. Is that Open Text from Kitchener? No, it's Open Door actually. Open Door Technologies. Can you day trade this one? Again, it's not. Let's take a look at on the hourly. No, it's not showing me. It could be a day trade. Day trade could be if it gets uh, above this trend line. But this is like a penny stock. It's not going to move that much. I like day trading. I like stocks above 20 bucks, 30 bucks, $50, $100 stocks. Those are good for day trading because they move in dollars. When anything that's under $10, they don't move that much, and they don't unless you buy a lot of shares. But when you buy a lot of shares, you're also taking a lot of risk. So to me, day trade is not under $10. I don't day trade too many stocks that are under 10 bucks unless I'm planning to hold for like a swing trade or something like that. Can you hold this for swing trade? Um, Very risky. No, very risky. I wouldn't be a buyer unless it gets above this trend line up here. Okay, that is open. Evening could. Okay, thanks for Harvey. Thank you, Tatish. Thank you. Hamana, yes, definitely buy. CNC is definitely a buy. Both of them. More Humana than CNC. I will let Harvey do the market update. I will see you more with the stocks. Well, take a look at the portfolios this morning. What should be in there? What we are still holding? What should be buying? So portfolios right after Harvey does his market update. We'll take a look at that. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you.
Alright, what's up, guys? Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone is doing well on another day of markets. Hopefully, we'll see if we get a bit more clarity of which way markets want to go, as they have attempted a decent push up this week so far. A lot of volatility, a lot of up down action.